part of our first Google Hangout. So we will work out the bugs. We've been working on it for like an hour and a half, trying to get it all worked out for you guys. But this is a great way that you can see me live. And I think there's so much power in just visual and being able to see. So I am going to be looking down a lot. That's why I have my glasses on, because I'm going to be reading to you some things that I really want to share with you tonight from my heart, and kind of get you guys geared up for this new seminar year. So I want to read you a couple of things real quick. This is a quote from Mary Kay Ash, and it says, "You are here today because you have a vision of the success that can be yours. You are sitting where those who have achieved greatness in our company have sat. You are thinking the same thoughts they did, facing the same obstacles they faced." And the thought for the day is, what will you choose to be your legacy? So girls, this is about looking at the girl in the mirror. This pink huddle is not for the consultant that does not want to treat her business like a business. This pink huddle call is going to be super intentional, super activity driven, and it's going to be a place where we can work together to build our dreams. This is the place where I want directors to spin out of our pink huddle calls. This is the call that I want red jackets, car drivers to spin out of this call. So that is my ultimate goal, girls. Like, I am serious about helping you achieve your dreams, and I mean serious. So that is where I am. So after this call tonight, you may decide that you don't want to be on the pink huddle call, and that's okay. This call is about making us bigger, to build us better, and to really inspire you with the help of the amazing women around you. You know, the Bible says that iron sharpens iron. And so when you hang around like-minded people and big thinkers, that's what happens. So when we go to seminar, we hang around our girlfriends that want to be where we are. It just makes us better, girls. That's why meeting is so critical to our success. And so that's why I love the Google Hangout, because some of you aren't local, you can't attend our meetings, but yet we can all be together as a unit on this Hangout. So I just want you to make sure you have a paper, a pen, something to write with as we get started on the Hangout. So I want you to think about this, girls. What are ordinary women? We're just ordinary women, doing extraordinary things. And I'm wearing a t-shirt tonight. I'm going to bring my screen down for just a second. I'm wearing a t-shirt tonight called The Power of One. And I wore this t-shirt because I wanted to just empower you to know that there is so much power within you, that you don't need all these bells and whistles. You need the Lord to be your business partner, and you need to be willing to do what you need to do to make your dream become a reality. My whole Mary Kay journey, I've been in what's called the Go Give area. We are a Go Give area, which means that we do not have a national sales director above us to mentor us, to be a part of their awards nights, to do all that. So we have the company as our national. So what that means is when we go to seminar or company events, we are in the Go Give area, and we go to the company's awards night for us. And so if we had a national, when we go to seminar, places like that, the national would have an awards night for us on a much smaller scale than the company. It is a huge playing field when it comes to the company's Go Give area. So that is my ultimate vision, girls, is to create a national area and to start that process right here in this Google Hangout. We are going to Los Angeles, California, to Hollywood for our leadership conference in January. And my dream is to take 3 brand new offspring sales directors with me to Los Angeles in January. Now, can you imagine how differently it would feel to look back 6 months from now and to know that that's what you achieved for your family? Triple your income, most likely driving a free car, financial independence. That is what directorship means, girls. That's what it's meant for our family, and that's what it can mean for yours. So I just want to read you a few things here. And this says, have you ever heard, you do not have to do it forever, but you have to do it today. We do not have to work hard for the next 40 years at any job if we'll work hard in our Mary Kay jobs to take advantage of everything the company has for us. Today, you have to decide to make some non-negotiable goals. Are you sick and tired of getting the same results and missing goals? You have to be willing to be inconvenienced to get what you want. You cannot do what you want to do when you want to do it until you have done what you need to do when you need to do it. I don't know if you really caught that, but let me repeat it. You cannot do what you want to do when you want to do it until you have done what you need to do when you need to do it. That's kind of like the quote, work hard, play hard. You know, if you play hard, you get to work hard, vice versa. It's the same thing. Being very intentional about the time that you have, because Like, for example, we haven't afforded ourselves the right to be able to take a bunch of time off in July because we're not national sales directors. We're not to the place yet where we need to be. But trust me, girls, if you will discipline yourselves during seasons when most people don't want to work, on holiday weekends, things like that, then your life will be completely different. Daisha Wiegand's one of our national sales directors, and she grew the fastest in the history of the company. She got 35 new names a day by warm chatting 5 names a day, meeting new people. She built the national area in 2 years in record time. And what she said was that if you work hard for 2 years the way most people won't, then you can live the rest of your life the way most people can't. And girls, there is so much truth to that. So most of you know I've had some health challenges, and my vision is to debut our national area by my 40th birthday, which is in 2 years. That is my vision. And so why not? Why can we not do that and debut at Seminar 2 years from now? So it all starts right here, right now, in this pink Google Hangout, this pink huddle call. Okay, so I want to tell you girls this little analogy. I want you to look on your piece of paper, and I want you to think about one non-negotiable goal that you would love to have in your business. If you were dreaming your Mary Kay ultimate dream, what would be that one non-negotiable goal? If that scares you to death, then maybe perhaps think about what is that one Mary Kay goal that you would love to have by Christmas. I want you to fast forward. You know, Christmas is a blink of an eye away, right? So when you're sitting around the Christmas tree with your family, you're enjoying your children, your grandchildren, you're sipping hot chocolate, listening to Christmas music, where would you love to be in your Mary Kay business? Would you love to have a new car in your driveway? Or perhaps getting the phone call that you're with your new unit number, your new unit number for your new unit? What would be that ultimate that you would love to have by Christmas, by the new year? Okay, so I want you to do this tabletop exercise for me. I learned this from my coach, Deb Erickson. She's a very brilliant woman. And this is what your paper is going to look like. You're going to make a straight line, and you're going to put your goal right there, okay, on top of that piece of paper. Then you're going to make another line over here, okay? And this line says why you can't, okay? So how this is going to work is you make the straight line. Do not make the little lines underneath, just the straight line. Okay, this is your goal, and this is why you can't. Now, girls, your homework for me tonight, and I want to see this from you, whether you snap a picture, email it to me, this is going to be a place of accountability. This is not just going to be a place of like, oh, we're just flippantly here. No. This is going to be, you're here to work with me, and we're going to do this. So you write your goal here, and then you write this is your table, okay? This is a table, and these are the legs to your table. Now, most tables have 4 legs, but our table can have as many legs as we want it to have, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to write down on your table, make as many legs of every reason to start why you can do this. Why can you do it? Because you have a supportive husband, because you have work ethic, because you're a woman of integrity, because you love people, because you love building relationships, because you love the product. I mean, I want you to go and make as many legs as you possibly can, okay? Make as many legs as you can. Then I want you to write over here all the things that squash us, why you can't. Because I have a fear of failure, because I feel like I'm not good enough, because I feel like that, people won't support me. Whatever it is, I want you to put it over here. And girls, why we do this exercise is because when you focus on the ultimate, you lose sight of the immediate. Some of those negative things just don't seem to be so negative anymore when you're so hyped up on the goal. And a good example of that is when we finished 500,000. We had 360,000 retail in the midpoint of the year, at 6 weeks left, middle of May. And we had 140,000 retail to go. My ultimate goal was to do 500,000. In the process, we comfortably did another awesome quarter of Cadillac, and all these other things happened because my eye was on the ultimate, okay? And girls, I was so driven by the ultimate that it was non-negotiable in my head and in my heart. Like, there was no doubt that we were going to do it. $70,000 wholesale was more than we had ever done in a 6-week period. And you guys did it. But it all started with me believing that we could do it. And by me believing that we could do it, it breathed belief into you that we could do it. If I ever wavered or ever doubted that that was going to be possible, that would have put doubt in you, okay? This goes the same for you. You know, you have to put out there what you're doing to your friends, to your family, to your team members, to your customers, because when you put it out there, it makes it real. It makes it exciting, and it gives you accountability from other people saying, where are you, on your goal. So, but why we do this is because when you put over here why you can't, we can fix all of this. We can fix all of this, girls. None of this can stop you if we just fix it, work on it. And a lot of times when you write it down, it's not near as serious as what you think it is. Like, it sounds a lot worse, or we always make it a lot bigger in our heads than what it actually is. And when you put it on paper, you're like, that is so silly that I'm going to let the fear of what people think about me stop me from having financial freedom for my family. You see what I mean? So it kind of helps you to put it together. So this is my big homework project for all of you tonight, that I want you to you owe it to yourself, girls, and to your family, to your future, to your financial future, to spend some time and do this. Okay? All right. Now, here's some questions I want you to write down. What would you like to be your biggest triumph this seminar year? So this goal right here that I just gave you is by Christmas. Now, that's about the halfway point of the Mary Kay year. Our year ends again on June 30th. So that will be halfway. So I'm talking about what would you love to achieve this year, your biggest triumph this year, okay? So that is from now till June 30th. So you may say, by Christmas, I want to be driving my free car. And by seminar next year, I would love to be a sales director with my first offspring. Or I would love to be a car driving, pink Cadillac driving sales director. And girls, that is not undoable. Not undoable, but that is not unrealistic. Let me say that. Because we had a director that came to seminar one year and was one of the top 3 directors that got to speak. And she said she came to seminar the year before as a sales director. She did not hit any goals. She was just a sales director. She didn't do anything that year. And she made it her goal to do 30 faces every 30 days, which is the power start, for 12 months, the whole year. Girl, she came back to seminar as one of the top 3 directors in a pink Cadillac. Okay, so those faces will take you places, and that's why we're focusing on the party so much in our business right now. So write this question down. What would you like to be your biggest triumph this year? What is the major change that you are willing to make to improve your financial results? And what I mean by change is, girls, if we look at our 7-day calendar, we fill our calendar with a lot of things that don't bring us joy. I always say, if it doesn't bring you joy, or it doesn't give you the life that you long for your family, then you shouldn't be doing it. We are really good at being yes people and telling people yes to everything. But in reality, what we're doing is we are doing something that is not bringing us joy. I know my husband and I used to go to a church, and it was a really small church, and nobody wanted to do things. So we were the one-man band. We worked in the nursery. Pat ran the sound. We did so many things in our church, but a lot of it didn't bring us joy because we said yes to things that should have been other people's jobs. And the lady told me at my church, she said, you know what? She said, when you take on something that does not bring you joy, you're taking the blessing away from someone else that's meant for. And that was like something I have never forgotten, because I was like, isn't that so true? When we want to be a people pleaser and we want to tell everybody yes, then that's what happens. We end up saying yes to things we don't even want to say yes to. And then we fill our life with things we don't even have joy doing. So that's one thing. The next thing I want to ask you is, what would you be most happy about completing? What would bring you the most joy to complete this year? The most joy. Okay. So let me repeat the second one. What was the major change that you're willing to make to improve your financial results? And then what would bring you the most joy for completing? And the last 2 questions are, what do you think is the biggest risk that you are willing to take this year? Now, what do I mean by risk? Well, risk can be something like that kind of like stirs your tummy. Like for me, when I was a new consultant and I was wanting to be a sales director, my director said, you need to talk to strangers, like meet new people. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to talk to strangers. And so I literally carried a barf bag in my car, and that is not a lie. I literally did carry a brown paper sack in my car. Scared me to death. That to me was a risk. Like, you can define risk in lots of different ways, but for me, that was a risk. I was like, oh my gosh. And so, but you know what? I met a lot of fun people. It built my business. And now I don't even think about that, because I'm like, it wasn't a big deal at the end of the day. I'm still here. And girls, let me tell you something. When you take your family and you pick up that car and you pull up at that dealership and you see a car sitting on the showroom floor with balloons on it, and your team shows up, imagine picking up your kids early from school, or getting your husband off early from work, or for me, it's my grandmother, letting her see those things. when you are a part of that and you get to experience that, I can promise you that anything that was a little bit scary to you in those moments, trust me when I say that it will never, ever matter at the end of the day. Those things will not cross your mind whenever you are in those places. Whenever I get to go to seminar this year and represent you as a $500,000 sales director, all the illness, all the roughness of this year will not be in my head. It will be a celebration of what God did through us, through me. And so that is what it's all about. And your final question is, what one word would you like to have as your theme this year? Now, Pat has a book, and I can't remember the title of it, that talks about finding your word, like the word that you want to describe every little thing in your life. Like, it could be focus. I just want to focus more on my family, focus more on my career, focus more on my financial freedom, focus more on my spiritual walk with the Lord. Like, focus could be your word. My word is intimate, because I want to have an intimate relationship with my friends. I want to have an intimate relationship with the Lord. I want to just really just love deeply and love passionately the people in my life, because life is so short. And so I want you to think about what would be that one word. Maybe it's just commitment. You want to be more committed, driven, successful in all ways, successful in your marriage, successful in your financial freedom, anything like that. You think of your word that you would love to describe this year, okay, this seminar year. All right. Now, if you guys were at my meeting on Thursday, I gave you a survey that you were to fill out for me, and I want that survey back. I want you to take some time. If you are not local and you did not get that survey, then I want you to let me know. I'm going to email it to you, so that way you have it, okay? But that survey was really good. Girls, this is a time in your life where take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, what we call dream storming or wonder storming. Like, I wonder what it'll be like whenever I don't have to worry about money anymore. I wonder what it'll be like whenever I can do anything I want for my family. I wonder what it'll be like whenever the company calls me and says, congratulations, you're a brand new sales director. Here's your unit number. I wonder what it'll feel like whenever I go to my director debut and all my unit members are standing next to me. You know what I mean? It's things like that. I wonder, wonder storm. Spend some time dreaming, girls. We know that 85% of women have stopped dreaming, and we don't want that for you. Okay, so I'm going to read you a little bit right here as we get you geared up for these next few calls. So here we go. This could very well be the best year of your entire life. You could do more, achieve more, become more, give more, and receive more than ever before in the history of your existence. This could be the year when you shock yourself and everyone around you with your determination, drive, discipline, activity, work ethic, and success. This could be the year when you finally move from knowing to doing, the turning point for the rest of your life. The season when you step into all God created you to be. The time where you turn all your dreams into reality. Now, girls, I don't know about you, but I could just read that paragraph every morning as an affirmation. Girls, you should be creating, when you answer these questions about your dreams and what you want most and what it's going to be like at Christmas, you should write out a detailed vision statement. And that is on paper saying, we woke up this morning for Christmas. The kids are getting ready to come down to the tree. And as I'm getting ready to wake up my husband to get ready to get down there to get the last bows and the last things before the kids get up, I sit here and I think about how differently my life is because of my choices that I made over the last 4 months. My choice not to settle, my choice not to make excuses. And now as I sit here on the side of this bed with it quiet, the lights on the Christmas tree are lit, I look out in the driveway and I see my free car. I look and I see my director's suit hanging in the closet. And I realize that what I've done is in the last 4 months, I have achieved a position that most women in their life never aspire or even know about to achieve. I achieved a position that takes some people 40 years and they still never achieve something like this. And so I can celebrate this Christmas season and thank the good Lord above for my discipline and my work ethic and my drive and my dream that He placed on my heart, because now I'm living my dream. Well, that's a vision statement. And when you read that in the morning, every day, when it gets hard and you read your vision statement or you read a paragraph like this that I just read to you, this is your year. You can write that on your bathroom mirror with lipstick, write it in your on your refrigerator, put it everywhere, girls. Your vision has got to be everywhere. Pictures in your car. Like, I just want to really cast that vision for you tonight and get you really, really thinking about it, doing your exercise with the table, and really just spending some time, because girls, it's worth it. We get one shot at this life, one shot, and this is our time. God's given you breath, a free country to work in, arms and legs, and the ability to make a change for the better. So here's what it says. Or it could just be another year like all the years before, a year of setting goals with no expectation of achieving them, a year of mediocrity, a year of frustration, stagnation, and disappointment. Maybe you're one who has set and missed goals so many years in a row that you can't even fake enough excitement to set another round of goals this year. Maybe you used to feel successful, but have become jaded and disheartened by a season of recent disappointment. We're deciding today who we want to be and become within this less than perfect situation we're living in. We cannot control the weather, the economy, or even the state of affairs in our own home all the time, but we can control who we are and how we respond to the world around us. And that will oftentimes become the catalyst to every other result that has seemed to elude us for so long. All right, so here we go. And when you're tempted to cave, when you're feeling weak and don't know if you can muster up the energy to continue, remember this. You must give in order to get. And girls, this is so true. I hope you hear this. You must be willing to give before you ever get anything in return. In fact, you must be willing to give and give and give and give and then give some more before you even start to receive anything in return. Because it's in those seasons of giving without receiving and working with no apparent fruits of your labor that our faith is tested and the true intentions of our heart surfaces. And girls, what that means is that the emotional management of our business and in life is so critical, because when it gets hard, you will have frustrations, you will have setbacks, you will have disappointments, you will have postponements, you will have heartache in your business. Girls, I've come to a place in my soul that, like, God is my business partner. And that doesn't mean I never have it hard. That doesn't mean that there are not big crocodile tears that flow out of these eyes from time to time. All that it simply means is that I never waver from the dream in my heart. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, I've kind of become emotionally numb that, thank you, Lord, for that blessing. Now let's move on. Thank you, Lord, for that obstacle, because that made me a better person. Now let's move on. Like, I just choose to make better choices. Sunday, I had a horrible day. I had lots of crazy things going on that morning. And then I had my barbecue with you guys. And I was like, I am not going to let this ruin my barbecue with my Stark and Soulful. Had an awesome time, moved on, got over it. There you go. Today, amazing day. I had a Facebook party a few months ago with one of my customers here in Waco. Her family lives in Nashville, Tennessee. Her mom and her sister, they were on the Facebook party. They bought quite a few products from me that day. They loved all of them. She went home for 2 weeks to Nashville, my customer, and her mom came back with her. She wanted to meet me today to get some foundation and CC cream. And she bought, between her and her other daughter in Tennessee, $171. And then I had a girl that just messaged me and said, hey, I'm in your networking group. I've heard your skincare is great. I want a miracle set. And then we talked about the deep wrinkle filler. So I met her right after that appointment for a $151 order. And then I did an interview on Saturday before I left to go to Louisville to do a debut for Amy. And I did an interview on one of my customers that I just randomly picked her. I'm just picking customers saying, hey, this may never be for you, but I just want to share with you how it works. I'm going to bring you a Starbucks. I'm going to treat you to a fun little gift. And just as a thank you for giving me 15 minutes. I interviewed her. I had no idea she'd even be interested. Her agreement just came in 30 minutes before I started this call. So why do I share that with you, girls? I share that with you because I'm human. I have the same disappointments and the same failures you do, but I think that God honors and blesses the willingness to be able to keep going in spite of, and that truly is, I feel like, just the key to our success is keeping him as our business partner and just keep running the race. So Here we go. If nothing changes, girls, right? You can be sitting here in the same place a year from now and be like, I remember that hangout that I had with Bridget, and we talked about goals and vision and my dream around the Christmas tree and my dream at seminar the next year, and I didn't do anything about it. It's just another year. And so it is my belief that if we are still breathing and taking up space on this earth, that there is still work to do. So embrace it and step into your purpose. Embrace the opportunity to rise above mediocrity, and by doing everything within your power to live in victory from this point forward. All right, girls. So I want to read you one last little thing back here. Okay. One thing I do know from my personal experience is that mediocre is miserable. Girls, do you know that? You do know that, right? When we were broke, when Pat and I couldn't afford groceries, and remember one time we had like a washing machine break and some other stuff. Oh my gosh. I remember it was so hard. You know, girls always say when you don't have money, that's all you think about, right? When you're hungry, that's all you think about, right? So when you alleviate some of that mediocrity, which I call that mediocrity, I mean, just constantly having a need in our heart and we don't fix it. And so please understand, girls, there's a difference between being content and complacent. I believe that it's perfectly okay to be grateful for what you have and still believe that God created you for more. That's what I want you to keep in mind as we explore just what it means to live a life of excellence above the mediocrity that threatens to cave in on us. You know, girls, it talks a lot in the Bible about work ethic and about God blessing the work of our hands. You know, it talks a lot about lazy people, you know, and it's just really sad. So the statistics of normal people in the United States of America was compiled, and the facts were that over half of all marriages end in divorce. Most people live paycheck to paycheck at best. Most go to work every day for 40 to 60 hours at a string of jobs they don't enjoy. And apparently for most people, growing up means growing out of their dreams. When I heard this, it made me realize that I did not want to live status quo. I did not want to just survive. We wanted to really live life and not just settle into the patterns and traps that so easily entangle us. However, we seem to forget that our reality is whatever we allow it to be, whatever we make it to be. You may be here and you're happy doing what you do. And it is very easy to look down the road 20 years and say, these were okay jobs with okay pay, will produce an okay life. And that's cool. And if that's all we want, then hey, that's awesome. But again, I want more than that. And once that became clear, settling for okay was no longer acceptable. Are you okay with okay? No. God created us to live and have it abundantly, girls. To live life and have it abundantly. I always talk about my granny, but you guys, it is the truth. My granny has lived and worked in the same little town at the same little job for 46 years. And now I am having to financially take care of her. No retirement, no savings, doesn't own a home, nothing. And while I love her with every fiber of my being, the one thing I thank God I didn't take from her was that. And she grew up in a generation where it wasn't like that. But it just makes me sad because Granny was so smart. And I'm so much like her. And I just think Granny could have done so many cool things. But she sat in the same desk for 46 years, making the same paycheck, making minimum wage when she left that job at 83 years old. Girls. Pursuing a dream isn't always pretty. It isn't always fun or exciting or romantic or even fruitful. Pursuing your dream doesn't always pay the bills. But if it's really a dream worth chasing, you find a way to pay the bills so that you can still continue that pursuit. When it's a dream worth dreaming, you're driven by what more than recognition, convenience, popularity, or money. If it's really a dream worth chasing, you won't watch the clock and tally the payoffs. If it's really a dream that drives you, detours are acceptable, delays are expected, but defeat is not an option. And girls, what I mean by that is when you guys look at your business party to party and you get so down and frustrated when you're like, oh my gosh, like it's not working out. Girls, that is because you're measuring your business activity to activity, and you cannot do that. That will squish you, and Satan will use that on you every single time. See, I knew you couldn't do it. That's what he's saying in your head. I knew you couldn't do it. See, you had a zero party. See, I told you couldn't do it. You didn't recruit her. That's the lies. He's a liar, and that's what he wants you to believe. So how do we find balance in all of this? We want to pursue our dreams and do everything else. I will not sit here and tell you that you will never have to sacrifice to pursue your dreams. Mary Kay always said, dreams are never achieved working 8 to 5. And people always say, you work a lot. No, I don't. I'm the average person that works hard. I do not work a lot. I love what I do. Pat and I want to build a national area. I choose to work the way I want to work. You get to choose how you want to work. It is a choice. I love my work. I love you. I love mentoring you. I'm passionate about you. I wake up in the morning excited to get on my phone, to talk to you. That is what I love. That is the calling that God has placed on my life. It's a calling. It's not a job. Ministers don't cut it off. Like I'm not saying you can't cut it off and visit with your family. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I am always your director and I will always love you. And I wake up every day excited to be with you and to help you. So let me ask you, when we're at work, we're constantly feeling guilty about our family. And when we're with our families, we're thinking about all the things we need to do at work. It's a very vicious and defeating pattern. So how do we break the cycle? Boundaries. Boundaries can become like an on-off switch for the different areas of your life. When it's time for work mode, you can develop the skill to simply turn on that mental switch. And when it's family time, you can own the ability to turn off the work switch completely guilt-free, knowing you've given your best all day. I think that's why we feel guilty, girls, because we don't give all of ourselves when we do work and with our family, and we feel guilty. So here's the catch. In order to earn the freedom and peace of mind to turn it off when we want to turn it off, we must develop the discipline to turn it on when it's time to turn it on. There's a big difference between work ethic and workaholic. Work ethic is a noble trait to be honored. Workaholic is simply the absence of your life skill called boundary. Have you ever struggled with the issue of balance in your life? I know none of you have. You feel like you have to keep the weight evenly distributed between both areas. You want to give 100% to both your family and your career, but you're just not sure how to balance it. And if you ever feel like that, we've been neglecting one or the other, or one for the other. We often try to fix the problem by overcompensating in the opposite direction, only to create even more problems in the long run. How do we stop the madness? We're not going to solve the problem by giving up on our professional goals or by sending our family down the river. It is possible to have impeccable work ethic and still create an amazing life. How is that? It's boundary. If I want to have an amazing work ethic and an amazing life, what do? I set the boundaries for work time and family time ahead of time. If we wake up every day putting out fires and we never set that schedule, girls, there is so much freedom in a schedule. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's so much freedom in a schedule. What I mean by that is, let's just say you have a 7-day calendar and you know that you go buy groceries every Sunday. We go buy groceries every Sunday after church. That's our thing. And you know that you do laundry on Sunday evenings or Saturday morning or whatever. You make a calendar of all the things you need to do. Clean the house, do something for the kids, do something for your husband. Like I said, family time, work time. You put all that on the calendar, and that way when you start thinking, gosh, I feel so guilty, my house is a wreck, you don't have to feel guilty because tomorrow is house cleaning day. You see? But when there's no structure and no help with like setting those boundaries, then that's when we get overwhelmed. Okay, so if I set those boundaries for work and family time ahead of time, then I give 100% to my career during career time, and I purposely switch gears and give 100% to my family during family time. It's really just that simple. Not necessarily easy, but simple. Remember, girls, the pain of regret is far greater than the pain of change, pain of discipline. Embrace change and what this new year has for you. A scripture I want to leave with you says, Psalm 37:4, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. God wants us to have an amazing life. So here's some quick things I want you to jot down for me. So what can you do to kick off this new year right? Okay. Number one is to focus on your faces. I trained you guys on the party this past week. We are going to be deeply diving into those parties constantly. I'm going to be setting up some parties. If you guys want me to come in, bring in some of your best customers and let me do a party with you, part to just get you trained, part to just like help you get some people like on board with you and things like that. I'm happy to do that. But the first thing for you to do is to simply just ask. Girls, the answer is always no if we don't ask. So what you can do right now is contact some of your best friends, customers, whoever. Maybe they've already hosted with you before and say, hey, girl, like I know we've had a party before, but I just want to ask you. I am in leadership training with Mary Kay. I have made a commitment to my sales director that I'm going with her to Los Angeles as a brand new sales director at Mary Kay. And so we just learned a brand new party format. Now, I'm not asking you to have a party. All I'm asking you to do is invite 2 of your girlfriends over. And if you are willing to do that for me and just about 2 girlfriends over and have about 45 minutes to an hour with me just to let me practice my training and presenting our products and my presentation skills, then I'm going to give you $75 in products for only $35. In addition, there's going to be some fun surprise goodies that you can earn at your appointment as well. So would you be willing to just help me with my product and presentation skills and just help me practice? Okay, that's all you have to do. She's not having a party, so she thinks. You know what I mean? We're not calling it that. But girls, that's all you have to do. Just say, can I come over and practice my skills? I need to practice. And you do. You do, girls. You got to master that class. Your number one goal in this business is to master that class. Okay, make your goal, and you got to make the goal poster, make it visual. So this is just an example. You can take a piece of cardboard, put some pictures on it, put some words, put some of your favorite scriptures, put a picture of your family. This is just one that I had of just some of my favorite quotes. Be the kind of woman that when your feet hit the floor in the morning, the devil says, oh no, she's up. Things like that. And so I just have different things that I have hanging up in my house, but you've got to have visuals. So important. Work full circle. That's the class we've already trained on. Be a master in customer service. Girls, that's your inventory and giving great customer service. And you may be on here and you have never invested in product for your business. If you are truly intentional about building this business, I would say the number one thing you ought to consider is investing in your business. Because by far, investing in your business will be so critical. It makes your life so much easier. It shows your clients that you're serious about growing your business. It makes your life so, oh my gosh, no, not paying shipping all the time, giving amazing customer service, like awesome. So definitely something to think about. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, decide on some ideas that you like, that you want to work in your business and focus on that. Build relationships. Girls, this business was all about the relationship. Building relationships first, doing business second. Work the numbers. If you're like, okay, I want to be in a car or be a director by this amount of time, then how many parties am I going to have to hold? How many faces? Now, I gave you guys some information at meeting on Thursday about the numbers. But just remember, girls, that 1 in 4 people that you share with will say yes to the opportunity. 1 in 4, okay? Of every party you hold, half will cancel or reschedule just because kids get sick last minute, whatever. So if you want to hold 2 a week, you've got to book 4. Girls, if you work the numbers will never lie. They really won't. They will always work in your favor. Take responsibility for your business. You know, don't be doing the blame game. Girls, this is our business. We are the CEO of this company. Anything worthwhile is worth fighting for, girls. And last, I just want to leave you with, give it to God, do all you can, and let Him do the rest. So what's going to happen in these next hangouts is we will not have one on Monday because obviously I'm going to be at seminar, so we're not going to have a Google Hangout. So you've got 2 weeks. And my challenge for you in these next 2 weeks, if you did not finish your perfect start, okay, my challenge for you is to do 15 faces, okay, in the next 15 days. Now, I know some of you are going to seminar, and you're like, how am I going to get 15 faces in? Well, could you think about booking 3 parties when you got back with 5 people? Or perhaps getting 6 of your girlfriends to bring you 2 people at 3 different time slots. So maybe you have 3 times in your house and you get 2 girlfriends to bring 2 people to you. So that's 6 people at each time slot. Guess what? That's 6, 12, 18. That's 18. You did more than you needed. Practicing your presentation skills. What do you think about that? In 15 days, what could you do in your business? How differently would your business look if you committed to do 15 faces in the next 15 days, okay? Don't limit yourself. Don't automatically put things up in your head of like, I can't do it. I know girls that do 100 faces in a month to go into DIQ in 1 month. So if you're really serious, then let's really get serious. Let's do 30, let's do 50, let's do 60. All I'm asking you to do is to commit to do 15 faces. Now, every week, I'm going to be giving you guys some homework, like something to just work on for that week, to focus on for that week. And I want you to be very intentional, be very present to these calls, girls, because I'm not tooting my horn, but I have been where you are. And I know how to do what it is that you want to do in this business. We've had 7 cars. You know, I've been a director for 12 years. Like, I can promise you, girls, like, I am here for you. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest cheerleader. And together, we are stronger together, okay? So that is my challenge for you. My second thing is to make your vision board, okay? Got to make your vision board. You got to answer those questions for me. The 4 or 5 that I gave you guys tonight, in addition to the worksheet that I gave you at meeting. All right, super critical. I want those before our next Google Hangout. Okay, ideally by next Monday. Like, I'd love to have them within a week because I don't want you waiting on answering those questions. So I want you to get those to me as quickly as possible. You can email it to me, scan it in, whatever you want to do. And the last thing I want you to do is work on your table. I lost my table. But work on your tabletop, okay, with your, I don't know what to do with it, but with your goal and then why you can't. And I want you to send that to me as well. So you've got 4 things that you're going to focus on. Now, I want to hear from you if you're still committed to this hangout. This is your pink huddle. This is your safe place. This is your place where you can grow and dream and learn, okay? So I want to hear your commitment after this call to say, yes, Bridget, I'm going to work on my homework, and I'm committed to not live mediocre, to not be okay with mediocre, and to live the life that I dream of and to live the dreams that God has planted on my heart. Girls, because remember this, if He's given you the dream, He's equipped you with the people and the opportunity that you need to make it happen, okay? So I love you guys to pieces. And trust me, it will not hurt my feelings whatsoever if you're like, this isn't for me. This, though, does not mean, girls, you have to be a sales director. That is not it at all. I'm just looking for the women in my unit that want more. And whether that is a red jacket, to become a team leader, to, be a future director with 8 new team members, to have financial freedom, whatever it looks like for you, I'm not asking for everyone to be in a director suit. All I'm asking for is a woman that's committed to more and is willing to take this journey for the next 4 weeks, okay? 4 weeks. And then I'll have a whole new group of girls that I'm going to invite into the Google Hangout and start the process all over again. So girls, your future is worth 4 weeks, okay? It is, trust me. Because I can look back and think, gosh, that work I did all those years ago, I'm still getting paid on today. What a blessing. So I hope this blesses you guys. I hope you will honor Mary Kay. Let's carry on her legacy, because truly, girls, it is a legacy worth carrying on. So you guys have a great night. Let me know if you have any questions after the call tonight. And this will actually be a YouTube post. If you want to rewatch it again, I can send you the link to it if you want to just replay it again or pick up anything that I said during the hangout. But thank you, girls, so much for your time. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.